Welcome to BSW's Tech Dive. Tech Dive.
Submerge the ship.
The show goes technically deep into products you care about. The new, the old, the newish. So put on your gear, close up the hatch, and prepare to
Dive. Submerge the ship.
And now, here's John.
Welcome to this edition of BSW Tech Dive. I am John Lynch, Director of Business Development for Broadcast Supply Worldwide, BSWUSA.com, and as you see in the top left corner, our toll-free number 800-426-8434. Our topic today specifically is called Aaron, and Aaron is from Inovonics. Also from Inovonics, our guests, Ben Barber, the president and CEO of Inovonics, and sales and marketing manager, Gary Lerman. Now, there are three distinct areas that Aaron covers, but let's get one thing out of the way first. Why is it called Aaron?
Thank you, John, for having us on. Aaron, it was Inovonics has named a number of its products, the David, the Justin, the Sentinel, things like that, and so we wanted to come up with a name for this series of receivers that we have, and it's a play on words, being on air, air on, and then we just spelled it Aaron. So that's where the name comes from.
Now, in these three different areas that we cover with the Aaron product, let's start off with the first one and just, okay, what levels are we trying to accomplish with it, and then compared to the other ones? Go ahead, Gary.
Oh, well, I think it's probably best to talk about the Aaron 650 first,
okay,
because that has everything. There's two basic FM Aaron models, the 650 and then the 640. And both of them have a very sensitive and selective FM receiver. And, the concept is to be able to pick up an FM signal that you want to retransmit. And the Aaron is capable of pulling in a pretty weak signal. And with the 650, you can clean it up quite a bit. There's some special tools built into it that, Ben can probably talk about. And then pass it on to a retransmitter, including you can also change RDS messaging, things of that nature. Each one of the Aarons is a little bit different, so it's kind of hard to give generalizations, but in general, that's what the Aaron 640 and 650 do. And then we have another one, which is HDFM. This is the Aaron 655, which has actually three things built into one. It's the HD and FM receiver. It's got a audio processor built into it, and an RDS encoder built into it, all in a one unit occupying just one U of space on the rack, and it's really got a lot built into it, a lot of horsepower.
And Ben, the Aaron concept isn't new to Inovonics because you built that kind of product over many years. This was just the latest generation.
Right. We've built a number of analog receivers specifically for translators and rebroadcasting. But the Aaron was a step forward for us, where we started actually using software-defined radios and DSP in the product itself. Again, as Gary said, to clean up the audio and just give you the absolute best audio that you can get for rebroadcast.
Ben, what about the differences between the Aaron 640 and the Aaron 650? Are both of them have their own niches, or is one kind of superseding the other?
Well, they both have the same RF front end. So the front end is really sensitive, really selective, and can pull signals right out of the mud. So they both start off with the same front end. But after that, the Aaron 640, which is the less expensive version, gives you basic left-right AES audio out, as well as composite pass-through. So what it picks up, it passes right on through to the composite output. The Aaron 650 has the same front end, but then it has a lot of DSP power in it for regenerating the audio. So whatever is picked up off the air is actually regenerated completely and cleaned up. So you have a brand new pilot, you have a brand new L plus R, L minus R, and brand new RDS. So if you've got noise in the original broadcast, it doesn't rebroadcast that noise. It cleans it up and gives you a super clean signal coming out.
And with some translator locations and antenna, that's critical to have that corrective nature built into the 650.
Yes, yeah, a lot of DSP horsepower going on to do that.
So that takes care of that issue. But now, Aaron, or let's say Gary, we also have the Aaron 655. Where are we going with that?
Right, John. The Aaron 655 is an HD FM translator receiver that basically it's three things built into one. And Ben can talk about the development of that, but in essence, the 655 is you've got your HD and FM receiver. The concept being that this allows broadcasters to use an HD, a digital signal to rebroadcast in FM. So that rather than using an FM to rebroadcast the translator, they'll use an HD digital channel to do that. So it has an HD receiver built into it. It also has an audio processor built into it, which allows you to, do some processing to clean up the signal really nicely, and some capabilities for regenerating RDS messaging. It's capable of taking the metadata from an HD digital channel and rebroadcast that, or basically take that RDS message and then rebroadcast that in FM. And it can also support streaming, so you could use streaming as a source. And with the 655, you can actually take the metadata from a stream as well and create an RDS message. So it's got a lot of capabilities. It's got a lot of backup possibilities, and it's just a real beautiful product, basically. Now, unique in the market, I would say.
And Ben, that brings up a question on the 655 where Gary's talking about doing some cleanup or doing some reprocessing, but do we run into an issue with the 655 reprocessing something that's already been processed, and we've got, we used to say, dueling algorithms or something like that going on?
Well, you can. If a lot of times the audio that's being received is an HD2 or an HD3, and it's specifically for being rebroadcast. So, the processing might be light, and since it's digital, you don't have to worry about the noise so much. So you can do light processing. But the Aaron 655 gives the ability to do everything from really light processing, which is just peak limiting, so that you don't overmodulate your FM transmitter, 75 kilohertz, all the way up to a full 3-band AGC, parametric EQ, split band limiters, things like that. So it can get very aggressive, or you can back it off just so that it's a peak limiter, basically, a protection limiter for your FM translator.
And as we say, a big job in a tiny little package.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And
again, we can do it in a rack pack or in whatever, but you've got up to 3 of these models in the Inno Mini series, all in a single rack space, rack shelf provided by Inovonics through BSW. And I just like it so much because there's so much happening in so little space, and engineers need all of that horsepower in a tiny space nowadays. But Gary, what other things do we have in the pipeline? Do we want to share anything that people want to be looking forward to? Because we always know you guys have a pipeline going on.
Okay, so here's what I would say about that, John. We are always looking for new ideas for products, and fortunately, radio engineers are happy to share ideas. So we always appreciate getting ideas, comments from radio engineers out there who are the ones that are on the front line actually doing this stuff. And occasionally they'll they'll be working on some project and realize that, hey, it would be really cool if we had a product that would do this. Or they might be using, for example, an Aaron and say, boy, it would be really cool if the Aaron could do this as well. So we're always listening to those folks. And then I would say at Inovonics, one of the nice things about Inovonics is that because we have so much history in our company, we've been around since 1972, we've got a lot of knowledge built into it. The old dogs have a lot of experience, and then we have the young dogs, some really talented engineers, software engineers and whatnot, our team that can take those ideas and make them produce them into products in collaboration with the knowledge that we have within the company. And then we have some great people manufacturing our products. So we keep it all in-house, and I think it's a very nice combination for producing innovative products in the radio area.
And Ben, historically at Inovonics, a lot of your products started as that engineer saying, can you build something like this? Because I don't have this right now.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Many of our products, or at least features, come to us that way. We're talking about the Aaron 655, and originally we had an idea for it. We met with the director of engineering from one of the major networks, sat down in our conference room, drew it all out on a whiteboard, what we were thinking about. And after the meeting, we looked at each other and just went, we need to start over, because our concept was one thing, and what they were looking for was a different thing. And we built what they asked for, and it's been very successful.
Well, and this series has been very successful too. Thank you, gentlemen, for being part of the BSW Tech Dives. Ben Barber, President and CEO, and Gary Lerman, the Sales and Marketing Manager. The company is Inovonics, and they've been part of BSW Tech Dive. I am John Lynch, and I thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Baby, turn out the light.